Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Strawberry Patches podcast. My name is Marina, and today I will tell you all about this wonderful knitting retreat that I'm at. It's a beautiful morning. We spent the night here. We arrived yesterday, and today we're gonna have some fun classes and lots of chatting and knitting and spinning and God knows what else. And yeah, if you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy a little bit of different setup. Well, if you're new, you don't know the usual setup, but if you're returning, I am in St. Francis Retreat Center, which is so beautiful and peaceful and quiet, and you wouldn't even tell that it's in the middle of the city. Oh, but it's lovely in the morning. The weather is very nice. I'm so warm, I'm not even wearing my shawl. And yeah, so as I talk to you, I want to show you a little bit around. These retreats are happening twice a year here in Auckland, organized by the Creative Fiber people community, who are my wonderful friends. And we come here just for the weekend to learn some new things. Maybe like today there's class of brioche and polymer button making and something else. I think we're gonna do some felted name tags, and it's gonna be fun because we have some traders with their fiber and yarn. I'm one of the traders, and we're also chatting here in the cafeteria or the dining room and having lots of fun, exchanging pattern ideas, showing off our knits and everything, and just having fun. It's so nice to get away from your usual life. I mean, everybody's life is different. Somebody's busy at work, somebody has family. Like I left my daughter and my husband at home. I just talked to them, they're fine. But it's nice to find yourself in a different atmosphere where you can, for 2 whole days, devote your time to what you're passionate about, like knitting and talking about all this wonderful yarn and fiber crafts. And yeah, everybody is a very friendly bunch. All the ladies are so, it's fun. And yeah, if I have time, I will film a little bit of this and that, but I don't want to be in their face and, you know, film everybody's what they're doing, but I will try. So I hope you will join me for that. And yeah, let's see what was gonna happen today. This is where Annette is showing off a beautiful fiber, and oh, look at those gorgeously spun art yarn. Fabulous. And this is where the fiber preparation is gonna happen. That's Sharon's wonderful dyed fiber. Wow, it's beautiful. are fun. And then we have some silk. Wow, beautiful. And some dyes. And then we have Roxy fibers with gorgeous colors. And look at that, wow. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy stuff. This is floof, mohair and mulberry silk. Beautiful. This is the wonderful spring collection. Oh, and this is yummy. Perfect. Brushed alpaca. Beautiful, beautiful, truly beautiful. That's some more fiber and some stuff. Really cool earrings. Really cool. And this is yours truly. And this is my knit in retreat colorway. 2 bases. And yeah, I will do this.
So yes, I've just tipped all my fibre out on the floor, and I'll be making bats later today with that. And
all the temptation.
we just had Annie sitting in the middle of it. I took some photos of her. I could probably give you one. She was just overwhelmed when I tipped all the fibre out around her.
I was just going to bring mine in and have a play, and then you could teach me what I'm doing wrong.
And I have a bag over there. It's got silk. There's a bag right behind you if you go into there.
That's my favorite stuff. That's my favorite. Oh.
Well, it's just the best thing to do is just to, you know, you try and pull it out of the bag one by one. It's just silly, I think. And I love shaking the bag and feeling it all fall down the floor too.
Like a fairy, yeah? Yarn fairy. I have a question. How did you start
spinning?
Your art yarn business?
It just sort of evolved, I think. I don't think it was a plan or anything like that. It's because I was probably one of the first people in New Zealand that started doing it. And
how long ago was it?
How long have I been spinning art yarn for? Probably about 6 or 7 years.
And what is this lovely piece?
This is just, I'm just using this up. So basically, I'm doing some, right, I used to not like acrylic yarn. I used to be really anti it. But then this weaver started giving me her thrums, and she was so good at matching all the colours and everything. I've now decided that it's okay. There were people that spun art yarn, they'd just spin something thick and thin and ply it with something acrylic, and I thought that was cheating. But if you use it, you plan it, or you blend in, because like what I'm doing with Susie's thrums in that bag over there is I'm recycling them for her. So that's all the waste. Well, there is a skein of yarn in there, but other than that, it's all the waste off her looms. So I put them in my bats and spin them up.
I actually remember seeing something like that.
Yeah, there was one in here, but I've just sold it. I've just sent it away.
Oh, how cool.
So, you know, I don't mind using the acrylic yarn if I am actually recycling it. I think that's, you know, not too bad. Too bad of a thing to be doing. But yeah, at one stage I didn't think, you know, I was a bit of a yarn snob. But at the end of the day, there's a use for everything, really.
Yeah. I think as long as it looks pretty, everything goes. Hello again. I would like to tell you a little bit more about the knitting retreat that I went to, and I already recorded an intro, so I will just tell you in more detail about all the classes and all the wonderful people that I've met there, and I hope this video will give you a feeling like you've been there and you've experienced it. And if you ever get a chance to go to a retreat, maybe you'll have an idea of what it is like. And if you're here in Auckland, you will understand what our retreats are like. So maybe you would like to join us another time. But I have so much to share with you. Okay, let's start. So this retreat was at St. Francis Retreat Center in Auckland, and we went there on Friday and spent Friday evening, Saturday whole day, and Sunday afternoon, morning and afternoon. And I decided to divide it into days, so kind of chronological order, and I will show you a little bit of finished projects that came up from those classes and purchases thrown in the mix as well. And I'll try to keep it as short as I can, but there is so much footage that I have of the wonderful makers that I filmed there that I want to share, that maybe, I'm sorry if it's a longer one, you can always pause and, you know, come back to it later or whatever. And this is not my usual kind of video where I just sit and talk about everything that I've been making. It's more dedicated to the retreat. So next episode, I'll be talking more about what I've been making at home. Did I introduce myself? Just not sure. If I haven't, my name is Marina. I'm a Russian girl living in Auckland, New Zealand with my family, my husband and my 2.5-year-old daughter. And we are expecting another baby on the way in December. And next episode I'll be telling you all about the gender, because we found out, and if you know, shh, don't say. Let's start. So Friday evening I arrived there. My dear husband drove us and helped me carry all those boxes with the yarn upstairs, where we had like a trader's room, where I was lucky enough to share space with wonderful Annette, who does this amazing fiber bats and art yarn, and I have her as well in the little segments that I want to show you. Then there was fiber from Sharon Dooney, there was Rhonda from Roxy Fibers, and I have a little interview with her as well, which is amazing because I really love meeting other indie dyers, and she agreed for a little interview that's coming up as well. And also there was a little table with things that you can destash, where people brought books or maybe project bags or other stuff that they wanted to find a new home for. And then there was yours truly, Strawberry Patches. And I wanted right away to tell you about, because this is what I did on Friday. I set up my table and I wanted to show you a close-up of the special edition yarn that I dyed, especially for this knitting retreat. And I have dyed 10 skeins, 1 kilogram of yarn in 2 different colorways, but 2 different bases. But anyways, one of them sold out because I used 1 skein for myself to knit up some socks, and the 3 skeins were bought by the members of the retreat. And this is the same colorway but on a different base, the Knitting Retreat Souvenir, which is New Zealand sourced 100% merino. And I wrote here, this is a limited edition. This is my favorite New Zealand base to knit with. And I'm really happy with this colorway. So I'm not sure if I will be making something with it myself, because it's so special, because this was my limited edition yarn, whether I will have more of it. but check it out. Maybe I'll pop it into my shop, which you can find here. It's at strawberrypatches.nz. But here it is. I have 4 skeins of this, and this would be enough to make like a lovely finger and weight garment. Let's turn it the pretty way. And yeah, as you can see, I'm all into really pink stuff today, with lots of speckles and different speckled yarns. You can find here almost every color. There's fuchsia, there's some browns and some greens and some oranges, and I think even some teal. Yes, there's a little bit of teal in here as well. And this is a gorgeous plump yarn that I know will be a dream to knit with. So if I do decide to put it in the shop, I'm sure this have to go together, because even though you will have to alternate the skeins, but I think I should probably make something with it myself. What do you think? But enough about this yarn. So I made some more on a base that has some sparkle and nylon in it, and this is the one that I knitted my socks with, and I'll show them later. I also wanted to make 2 more subtle kind of colorway, and this is my Knit and Retreat treat, which I have to be fair, I have to be honest that the sparkle here is a little bit lost, because I probably kept it in the heat for a little too long. But I love how subtle it is, and how light, and how the speckles are not in your face. They're really light, and I'm really tempted to make a little girly dress with it or something similar. So one of this was sold as well, and I have this one left, and I just thought I'd show them together with my Sakura Blossom that I still have in the shop, and just how beautiful they look together. And they're both the same base sparkle sock, and yeah, I think all together they would make a beautiful shawl, like maybe a gradient like I did with this one. By the way, forgot to say what I'm wearing. This is my, I think it was Kindness shawl by Gialla Spiro. I'll link below in the description all the projects that I mentioned. But this is my hand spun from Twisted Sisters fibers that I spun in a gradient, and I'll tell you more about this later. So yeah, on Friday I sat at my table and I went downstairs to just mingle with the rest of the group, and I was so happy to see many of my friends, especially Margaret, who organized all of these events for us, and Shaz and Sharon and Cher. And I don't know how I should have interviewed Cher, because she's my dear friend who has taught me a lot, who has helped me a lot, who has been kind enough to make my project bags for me. I don't have one here, but she showed me her beautiful mittens that she was working on, this gorgeous color work in this beautiful possum blend fiber yarn that she got, and oh, it's just so pretty. I tried it on, and I'll insert a picture for you guys, and I'll try to link her pattern as well. So I chatted with her and some other people that it was so nice to see. Of course, Annette, I always gravitate to her table, and immediately on the first day I went and I bought some more fiber, and I've been meaning to, and now I think I'll talk about that, because this is the chronological order of the things. So when I was knitting this shawl, I had just enough fiber, and it finished, and I stopped here because I had just this much left, but I wanted the shawl to be deeper. So Annette, she was kind enough to give me some a bat with I don't even know what the composition of this anymore, but it had Angora rabbits in it as well. So all this fluff, hope you can see that. I just love it, and it matches my coat, dusty pink coat that I'm wearing, and I always gravitate towards this shawl when I'm here in the evenings or mornings knitting away, and I thought it would be lovely to make a hat with it. So I bought these 2 bats that Annette said was the same batch as this one, and I spun it already. I spun this one, I actually spun one at the retreat, and then I've just recently finished another one and I applied them, and here they are. This is how it looks. Has to be washed, and then I will dry it and make a sample because my spinning is still not consistent, so I really need to make a swatch to understand what kind of ply it is and how much it will fluff up, because as you can see here, it's actually lace, but because of the fuzzy effect of the yarn, it's really nice and warm still. So my idea of I want to make a hat with maybe some similar, maybe like a slouchy beanie or something with similar lace motif. Something like this maybe. This looks funny, but yeah. I really had fun spinning this up, and this is going to be another memory from a knitting retreat, because this fiber was bought at a previous knitting retreat, so it's going to be fun. Let's move on. Saturday, we woke up early and I had a little walk around, which is perfect there in the morning with the fresh air, and I have a clip for you guys. Then we had some classes planned for that evening, and I participated in two classes. One of them was making buttons, and they were from polymer clay, and I've never done that before. Never really worked with polymer Fimo clay before, and it was lots of fun. There were many participants in that one, because even though it's kind of not fiber related, it sort of is, because many of us found ourselves having trouble looking for the perfect buttons, and with this technique you can make your own perfect buttons, because you can mix the colors that match your garment. So I of course went ahead and made some pink ones, which I keep them here in my box, and just I have to say that they are not perfect in any way, but I kind of like it because I'm planning to use them mostly for my daughter's cardigans anyway, and I don't think I would be wearing something this bright, and maybe I could make use of these ones. These look like something I was supposed to send them as well, but to be honest, this took some time, like a lot of time to make these guys, and this was this sparkly clay was very hard to knead, so yeah, it took me a lot of time. And then I made lots of these pink ones, and how many? And 5 of these ones. And then I made a stitch marker, which of course I had to make the strawberry stitch marker. It's a bit huge. I made it smaller, but then I rolled it with a pin and then it became huge. So, but I guess it's also heavy. Maybe I can, I don't know what I'm gonna use it with. Maybe I can just attach a little loop here and put it on a bag as a decoration for the bag. But I really enjoyed these playing with Fimo clay, and yeah, that reminds me, I was recently watching Alexandra from the Fiberbound podcast, and this will be another, I will make some more recommendations of podcasts, but Alexander had also fun making some stitch markers with polymer clay, and hers are beautiful. Like mine are like nowhere near the pretty ones that she did. So if you want to know more, go check out Alexandra's latest podcast. I will link her podcast down below as well. So we did these buttons. After that, we had a class of name tags. So we made our own. Oh, I forgot to bring it, but I have footage of that, and I will show you while I'm talking about it. So we were given these pre-felted and cut out, and the ends were sewn on a machine pieces that we decorated ourselves. So we only did the embroidery on them, and Hilda was so wonderful. She's prepared all these nice beads and threads and all these felted pieces for us. And as you can see, everybody's name tag looks absolutely unique, and it shows their own character. And I had lots of fun making mine, and although I did want to make some strawberry themed something, but I think mine looks more like Christmas, but I love it anyway. And yes, I should have worn it. Maybe I'll wear it next time. But it was a really, really lovely class, and it really helps because when you meet so many people, it's hard sometimes to remember names, and especially for a foreign person, it might be hard. So yeah, I enjoyed that class a lot. I also saw that other people were making some felt pincushions in a tiny cup, and they look amazing as well. They look super cute. There was dry felting. Then there was Terry with her beautiful, beautiful wet felting technique, and she's brought her gorgeous dragon head pieces, and they were there throughout the whole time, and they were just such a beautiful decoration for our craft room / lunchroom. And at the same time, Terry was making something that was so enormous that I didn't understand what it was going to be like until the very end. And she finished, I think, on a Sunday morning, and it took her a lot of work and a lot of time, and wow, it just looks amazing. But I have a little interview with her as well, and I'll show you. Yeah. Hi, Terry. Okay. I heard you making all the noise here, and I wondered what you're doing here.
I'm making a felted cat cave, so it'll be a sphere when it's finished, probably about this sort of size. And it will hopefully look like a fish. So at this end I will cut out the mouth, and I'll put in some teeth to make it into a shark. Yeah, there's got a tail at this end. And then this I'm using as a vibrating plate, so it's a sander. Put it down.
Okay.
The vibrating plate just makes all the fibres get together that much quicker. It's just a cheap way of getting there faster.
Would you also mind telling me about your beautiful dragon head pieces?
Frankie, what to know? They're masks. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
How long would it take to make one?
Oh, those take me about a week.
A week. I would say that's fast.
Probably 8 hours a day, yeah. So,
Wow, they're beautiful.
thank you.
What do you do with them? Do you just display them, or are they like for? I was thinking maybe they're for a play, for some people
I
to.
made the first one in a workshop, so I wanted to learn the techniques, and made the second one to make sure I understood the techniques once I got home, but I have no purpose for masks, so I've stopped making those, and now I make the large sculptures that hang on the wall, a bit like what do you call them, like safari, where people go to safari and they bring back their kings, like that, but with felt, and usually in bright colours as well. So
cool.
Like a purple and yellow giraffe, and
Cool.
a blue lion. So.
Nice, nice. I will very happy that you've joined our New Zealand
I'm really pleased.
crafting family. We're very lucky, aren't we? Yes, so yeah.
I feel lucky too, so great.
Yeah, well, it's great that you love it here. We'll see more of these beautiful pieces later then. Thanks.
Thank you.
So among other classes, there was the swirl socks with Hilde. I don't know if it was a class or she was just sharing that pattern with everyone, but that brings me to the only finished objects I will show you today. This is the yarn that I dyed, which is the Knit in Retreat souvenir yarn. And this is how much I have left. This yarn is fingering weight with 400 meters per 100 gram. And I should weigh this, but I haven't done it yet. But anyways, I finished those swirl socks that Hilde was explaining to make just, I think it's finished yesterday. Here they are. This is such a brilliant pattern. And you get to see here how this particular yarn knits up in stockinette and in kind of a spiral ribbing. And these socks are so clever because, as you can notice, they look like they're just tubes, but I'm gonna show you how they look on my foot. They are brilliant. The idea of these ones is that they are very stretchy throughout, and basically you can wear them any way you want because they take the shape of your foot, and this toe is so clever that no matter how you put it on like this, or you turn it 45 degrees and you put it like that, these still lies very nicely on your foot. And another thing that intrigued me is that Hilde said that these socks, since they can be worn, like the heel and the sole can be on any part of the sock, that means they will not wear off as quickly. And yeah, this was a lot of fun to make. Maybe I will show you the pattern better like that. And I finished one very quickly in maybe like 3 days because I was determined to start and finish at the retreat, but I finished at home. And I don't know how about you, but I really love how the speckles show on this sock. And the socks themselves, they're really, really pretty. And as you can see, they match all the pink things that I've been making. But yeah, it also is sort of mindless because you don't have to worry about where you would put your heel. You just make this beautiful spirally ribbing for this lunch, and then do this toe, and then it's done. Super nice pattern. I now can wear them, and I will tell you more about how they wear later. So yes, this is my only finished object with my special Knit in Retreat souvenir yarn, and I am really pleased with it. Speaking of other classes that were there on Sunday, Annette was also having sort of classes on how to prepare fiber, and it was really interesting to see her just, you know, blending fiber and combing it using her hackles, I think they're called. I decided not to do that because I don't have the space. I haven't bought them. I don't have the space for them in my house, and I just don't think I will have the time in the nearest future to do that. But it's lots of fun to see people blend their fibers on them and then spin right from them. It was fun. I think it's time to include that interview I did with Annette. Here we go. Annette, one of my viewers asked me how can anyone control the thickness of yarn when you draft? And I thought you are a better expert than me and you can explain it better.
Basically, here we go, we're spinning along. We're doing a bit of a worsted spin here. We're looking at the drafting triangle. Can we see the drafting triangle? Yes. Right here? And we're basically in our mind measuring how long that drafting triangle is. So if I only let it go in about a centimetre, you can see the yarn getting thicker. If I draft it longer, my yarn is now getting a lot thinner.
Yeah. Can you make it a bit thicker? Because, to be honest, I don't really see the difference. Probably easier.
So I'm now pinching and I'm getting all the fibres from the drafting triangle.
Yes.
And I'm, in my head, I'm looking at how long that is. So now we've gone from this before when we had that there.
Yes. So this is what looks like right now is a 4 to 8 or 10.
10. Yep, so we'll hopefully it will feed on again. We'll let that. So here pinch the end, so we're getting all those fibres.
Yeah.
And all those fibres again. But see, if we draft it right out, we can go finer again.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thanks. I have another question. What's your favorite style of plying or spinning?
I like to spin with locks.
Like this one, right?
Don't think I've got any out here. You'll see Lynn Hefke, she's one of our felting ladies downstairs.
Yep.
She's wearing a necklace with one.
Ah, okay.
At the moment. That's the tail spun. This is actually lock spinning. I'm going to end up with something quite... the locks aren't going to hang off very far. Now, is this not going to feed on? My bobbin's... I've nearly finished this spin. There's quite a lot on there.
So what is it going to become? Another
what
necklace?
What is it going to become? No, this won't be a necklace. This will just be, it'll either be something in a dress, like my dress pattern. We've sort of get something in the middle, just something finer, and just put these down the sides.
Oh, pretty.
To buff it out.
So you're working on a new pattern?
Yes, I've got about 4 at the moment that I'm trying to finish. Trying to get there. And I've got this, what is it, macrame lady that's just started buying my yarn for her wall hangings.
Oh,
so I've sent some away for her. Now I'm going to have to stop because my fibre, sorry, it's over here.
Also on Sunday, in our little library room, the thing is that everybody was free to join any class they wanted at any time, and if they didn't want, they could have just gone to a different room and just work on whatever they wanted, be it spinning, knitting, crochet, or felting, or whatever it is that they're making, sewing. So at the library, Isabel had a class on crochet, which I don't remember what Brazilian crochet I think she called it, but I know this stitch as a broomstick stitch. You can Google it. There are many tutorials on how to make it. It looks amazing. And one of my customers, she purchased this beautiful gel colorway from me, and she started knitting with it. And it's just beautiful color combination with the lacy motif. And Sharon made hers with some hand spun, really colorful yarn, and it just looks amazing. Yes, Sharon, what is it called? This is mosaic.
It is mosaic crochet. It is mosaic crochet, and it's so I'm trying to do the mirror. So this pattern I want on the end there. That is the reverse of that. It is fun. It's easy. It's not very social though.
Oh, okay.
You have to concentrate.
You've got to concentrate a lot. But and it'll probably just be a scarf.
It's very pretty. But I love your blanket. I wish you had it with you.
Sorry.
It's fine. We saw it yesterday. It was gorgeous.
It's a big blanket and it's sitting on the bed, and yes. Okay. So it's fun.
So Sunday was these 2 classes, and they were so much fun. And then I interviewed a few of my friends. I couldn't interview everyone because some people were shy, other people I just didn't have time. And then I found it, to be honest, a little bit stressful because I wanted to relax, but at the same time I really was thinking that you, my viewers, would love to see what it was like. So I wanted to show you as much as I can and bring new faces here into this video. But I hope the result is nice and you enjoy watching all these beautiful makers talking about their work. Beautiful cardigan, right? Or a short sleeve? Yeah.
Sleeved cardigan, I suppose.
Beautiful. So it's a free pattern by Barocco?
Yeah, Barocco.
Okay. If people want to know, they can find it.
Well, I just go online and just look at all the free patterns.
Oh, good. Hi, Shaz. Can you show me what you're wearing?
Rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry.
Yes, and I thought I'd be the only clever one to wear it.
And that's also the other rose cardigan.
Lovely. I just want to show everyone how you don't notice it at first, but this is 2 different,
One's stocking stitch and one's reverse stocking stitch.
How clever.
They look really cool together.
Yes. And of course,
And this one.
beautiful.
This is Bomber Genesis by, I can't remember.
It's enough you remembered the name.
We got it right this morning.
With beautiful
Really like
beads.
it with the beading on it.
Which part? This is the brioche you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's not
just
too scary.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's just single colour brioche, so it's pretty straightforward. A good place to start.
Yeah. And I think the first time I knew you, you were introduced to me as the queen of brioche. Yes, I remember
not sure
somebody
about
saying that. Oh, come on. Every time I see you, you have a beautiful brioche.
And this is Springtime Shawl, I think it is, by Leela Frankham.
I need to make one. Wear it.
Wear it.
It looks so beautiful.
We need to do these retreats in winter.
Oh, it's so gorgeous. See, this is what makes me want to do brioche. Lovely. Is this knitted as one piece?
Yes,
From one corner?
from end to end.
Ah, okay. Nice. Love it. Thank you. Hi, Lynn.
Hi,
You want to tell us what you're making?
I'm making a flat piece and then I'm going to fold it over, stitch it up, and I'm going to put all my crochet hooks in one place.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's what it's going to be. I haven't got it.
Have you just made this?
I've just done this and I put some pre-felts on it, so it's going to be like this idea, like that.
Ah.
But this is my old hairdressing. But that idea, like a roll, so you can put anything in it.
Yeah, nice.
Using up my old wool and my pre-felts.
Cool. Show the bag.
My old
Such
bag.
happy colors.
Same colour.
Yes. Love it. Oh, thanks.
That's the felting stuff, and then I'm doing just putting a blanket together.
Oh, cool.
All different colours.
I see.
Only a knee blanket.
I love it how you always have the happy colors.
Very good.
Thanks.
Nice and bright.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marie.
It's amazing.
No, it's gonna be a sneaky.
It's amazing. Look at
Just keep making the fabric. So back to the ruler and
No wonder she looks so fit.
then slip knot.
Must be heavy as hell, being wet. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi.
I just wanted everyone to see my beautiful Indie friend with her gorgeous yarn, with this beautiful spring collection.
Spring's colours.
Wonderful.
This is my favourite, cherry blossom. You have a similar one.
I love pinks, so I do all kinds of pinks. And what you're wearing is so my colors as well.
Well, what I'm wearing, you can make. It's very easy. I did it top down. Yes,
Right.
not bottom up. So started by tension square first. Tension square, and then figure out roughly what you want around the bust. Finish
Right.
with some ease. Okay, that tells me my finished measurement. So I cast on for across the neckline, did some short rows, and just went from the back down to the bottom of what I thought the armhole might
Yeah.
be. And I particularly made this wider than a singlet, but not as wide as a jumper. I worked down to the armhole, and then on this, then when I'd done that, I picked up stitches on the shoulder so there would be no
Yeah.
seam.
Yeah.
Went down one side, increasing here and increasing the same increases as I did on the back for the armhole. When I got down to here, I decided to do cables. So then I
okay.
went backwards and undid a couple of rows back and made them pearl, because cables
Yeah,
need
need
pearl,
yeah.
to stand out. So then I went back a few rows, made them into pearl, and continued down. And all I need, and I'm sorry, I've got dust mite allergies. So I used a 10-ply.
Is it?
It has fluff.
Yes, a perfect one.
I had only one of these and two 10-ply skeins.
Oh, so this is more like a worsted weight.
Yes. So it's a worsted weight with one of these, but the ribbing is only
Right, without the
without
fluff.
the fluff.
Yes.
And I picked up the stitches. I reduced the number of stitches around by 6 to draw it in, but it needs a wash. It's sort of stretched out. And around
And
the
this is the twisted rib, right?
twisted rib.
Yep.
So I just knit through the back of the stitch.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's the same on a smaller needle. And around the neck the same. I think it was 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 I picked up to draw it in. And you can try and make your own
I could, yeah.
easily. You can always undo it and start again, or go back and fix up, or send me an email and I can answer the question for you.
Thanks. This is so lovely. I really like the perfect
Oh, it's beautiful. I would rather use this
than
than
mohair.
silk.
Yep. Why?
Because I find the mohair can pierce the skin just slightly and irritate.
Yes.
Whereas
That's what I
the
hear some
alpaca
people
doesn't.
say. Yeah, they say that if you find mohair a little bit prickly, then you would find this divine.
yes. And you can use it exactly the same as
Is
the
it-
mohair silk.
Is it hand wash? Yeah, hand wash.
Yes. Absolutely. Wouldn't I mean, this is mohair silk, but wouldn't that be lovely
Oh yes.
together?
Yeah, yeah,
Just
perfect.
lovely. Or this one.
Oh, this is. I love this so much, but I don't think it suits my color.
Yeah, so
I'm really curious how that would look.
would look beautiful.
No, this would look beautiful, we know, but with the speckled one, because I'm crazy about speckled ones, you know? But if you mute it down with this is going to be just more subtle variations and just, oh, beautiful.
Can you imagine green? Maybe not.
No, not pink.
No.
This might be fine, actually.
Really?
I think so. Well,
That would tone this down. It wouldn't be so in your face. So these are my spring collection.
what's next on your needles? What or a project in mind that you want to do?
it's not with me. Next on my needles, I'm actually using mohair, despite saying I don't really like it. I'm actually
Me too.
using 8 ply. What's this one? This is 4 ply. I'm using an 8 ply in this colourway with the fluff that goes with it, with this. No, that's yellow. Where is it? Maybe I've got it all downstairs with me. I do have a fluff in the same colour. So I'm going to make a spring coloured magnolia chunky cardigan.
Oh, I have that pattern in my queue as well. Oh, I can't wait.
Magnolia.
Lovely.
So that's next on my needles. Thanks, Marina.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that.
So you want to...
I want to just say hi to you, Hilda. And thank you very much for your showing me how to do the swirl sock. What is it called? The spiral? Yeah.
or heelless sock.
Heelless sock, yeah. That was beautiful. What are you making now?
That would be this one.
Yes.
So we just continue in
halfway
that
there.
spiral until it's maybe long like that, and then in the middle would be the first part of the sock, and then the second part will be here, and then the toe part will come. So I still have to continue for quite a few centimeters.
And what is this?
And this one is a kind of ordinary sock.
You're right.
This one is first knitted this way,
Oh my God.
and then crafted with the Kitchener stitch together. And then you pick up stitches. In fact, you create these stitches already while you knit. And then you do a little bend here and then down to a normal heel and
Right, I see.
that way. And that's from Sandra, a different one. That is a sock in the flat.
Oh.
So it will look kind of like that. But she has to sew that together, and it looks like this one.
Nice. Okay, cool. I bet your cat would go inside and love it.
Cats.
I know. I forgot to say that on Saturday evening we had a very fun tea party with Mad Hatters tea party. I think that is what it was called. But most of the people who participated, they were wearing these beautiful hat pieces that some of them looked just you could tell how much work was put into it, and they look all gorgeous, and some were felted, some were knitted, some were crocheted, some were just pieced together from different bits, and they all looked amazing. We have this picture of everyone who's had a hat on a staircase that I will show you, and you can see that it was a lot of fun, a lot of giggles, and everyone enjoyed it immensely. And I think it was such a hit that it should be repeated again. What do you think, Margaret? Shall we repeat it for another time? I think that would be really fun. I wish I had made something, but I don't really make hats because I don't like wearing them, so I didn't bring anything. But I did love one of the patterns that was a knitted dead or alive fish hat, and I took pictures of it, and I'm definitely going to make it for my daughter because it's just such a fun hat. It looks like you put a fish on your head and it has these eyes. It just looks brilliant. Cher was trying it on and she looks lovely in it, and the colors that are in it so amazing, and apparently it's beautiful when it's using your handspun yarn. So I linked the pattern down below as well. So Sunday, before everyone was leaving, there was a raffle going on, and then we had a little show and tell, and the table was filled with these gorgeous pieces, masterpieces and works of art, with the pin cushions and crochet blankets and cardigans with handspun yarn. I brought my handspun yarn that I oh, I'll show it next time probably. And there was my Odile bunny that I shared, and Cher brought her own bunny, and there were some shawls with beads and many beautiful things, and everyone had a chance to talk about their project and share the history of it. One of the projects that I loved hearing, it had a beautiful story. It was Cher's stitched, I think she said it was a curtain, but it was this huge piece with different fabric that had some sashiko and different stitches on it, and some natural dyed fabric, and some indigo fabric, and she's put it together. And if I remember it right, this whole piece took her a couple of years to finish, and she called it her recovery project and healing. And she's talked about how she tried to, with making this project, she tried to go through this process of healing since she's been in an accident, and it was so touching to hear her story. I wish I recorded it, but I think I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it was very personal and emotional, and yeah, you should have been there to hear it. Cher, I love you. This is a beautiful project, and I think that's why we are in this craft. We want to pour our soul and heart into something, and when we share these stories with others, we understand each other, and we understand that it's not just a piece that you can hang or wear or gift. It's a part of us, you know. You put so much into it, and not just time and skills, your thoughts as well, and it can be so therapeutic, and it's just wonderful. I was really touched by her story, as well as I was amazed by the work of this lady who has brought her 3 crocheted blankets, and they were just amazing, and this gorgeous intricate lace cardigan that was beautiful. It's so inspiring to see people bring their crafts and wear them as well. So I hope I showed you most of that. And yeah, after this show and tell session, we just, thanked everyone for all the classes and the organizers and the retreat center, who were amazing as usual with their food, and the whole retreat center is just a very peaceful, quiet place where when you arrive there, you understand that you can really rest, because outside, even though it's a city, it's a very tranquil and peaceful atmosphere. And inside, there's always these nooks and crannies where you can find peace and just craft in alone if you want, or you can gather in these rooms in the library or in the living room, or the fireplace room or the lunch room or any other rooms. It was really an enjoyable experience, and I am so grateful that I was a part of it, and I'm really grateful for my husband to has given me so much free time, that he's taking care of our daughter all this time. I really had a blast, and to all my customers who have purchased my yarn, very big thank you for supporting me and my little business. And of course it was fun to meet all my knitting, felting, fiber friends and meeting new ones, getting acquainted with new ones. And I hope that this little video, if it's not little, sorry, can show you just how beautiful that retreat was and how much fun we had. And just to finish off, I want to give you some podcast recommendations, because I have been busy watching some new and some not so new friends from the YouTube community, and I really enjoyed, as I said, Alexandra from the Fiberbound. She's the one who inspired me to make the anchors jacket for my daughter, and I will show, it's finished, and I'm knitting another one, which I will share with you in another episode coming soon. And the other person I wanted to recommend would be Fernanda from the Little Monkeys and Me. Oh, she's just such a lovely person, and she's participating in our knit along, which is the We Knit Cal knit along or crochet along, which will run until the end of this month. And then we're going to have we'll draw the prize, the winner. So if you, just as a reminder, if you have knitted anything in June, July, August, which is one skein or less, you are welcome to go into our Ravelry group and pop it in there and maybe win a prize, get a chance to win a prize. So Fernanda did put a couple of her projects there, and at the end of this video I will include, or maybe I'll do it next video. I'll do it here. I will include some more projects from our Ravelry thread. There are beautiful socks and shawls and things. And other than Fernanda, I found just yesterday a very new to me podcaster. Her name's Ellie. And when I think Fernanda was the one who recommended her. And when I heard about her, I just thought, oh my God, I have a twin in USA, because Ellie, who is the podcaster from the Little Fern Fibers podcast, Ellie is a mother of a 2.5-year-old girl who is a spinner, an indie dyer, a knitter, a creative person, and who is also expecting a baby very soon. And when I heard all of this, I was like, oh my God, I have to talk to her and watch her. And I really enjoyed all of her podcasts, and she does amazing art yarn, and she's even done some orders. And on her Instagram I found out that she's done some orders for Christy Glass, and she's made this knit collage cardigan, and she only has 3 episodes as of today, but they're amazing. And yeah, I feel like I have so much in common with her. And her husband is a wood turner, so he's also very creative and supportive, and I just really recommend checking her out. She's a lot of fun to watch, and she has created some beautiful things that you can go and see, and I'm sure you will love her. Give her some love and tell her that you're coming from here. All right, I guess I will finish off by just telling you that in the next episode, I didn't want to make this that long, so I will talk about all my whips and other finished objects next time. I hope you will have a wonderful time until then. I hope you are all safe and sound and your loved ones are with you, and that you have your craft to support you, to cheer you, to heal you if you need that. And as always, happy knitting, and thank you very much for joining me today. And please do subscribe and like and comment. I always enjoy reading everything you have to say. And thank you. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.